This I hate the way this article is framed. Everything beats the Steam Deck now. Please stop framing things as like a Steam Deck killer. But we're gonna be getting apparently a new Ayaneo handheld. We just got the Ayaneo 3, or I don't know if it's out or if reviewers are just finally getting their hands on it. It's got modular controls. I believe I looked at it for my YouTube channel. And now we have something that I'm more interested in. Because at first I thought it was really cool, but I realized it's only one touchpad and it's a module, so you can either have it or not. It doesn't have all of the controls all the time. And it was still like relatively small. It wasn't like a big handheld or anything. Now, this handheld is resurfacing. This is the Ayaneo Next 2. This was originally teased back in like 2022. Oh yeah, it says right there. In 2022. But it was shelved due to lack of interest. And now they're bringing it back. And I believe a lot of these renders are of the same body that would have existed even back then. But now it's going to be having a different processor in it. It's going to have the Strix Halo. So I believe it is going to be the Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 APU, which is a 10 core 20 thread, either 10 core 20 thread or 8 core 16 thread CPU with an RDNA 4 GPU bolted on, an APU as it were. And that is the 8060, the 8060S. The 8060S is basically the laptop equivalent to something like, I don't know, what would be like a 9050, an RX 9050, which doesn't exist. We don't have that card. So I expect it to be weaker, but not significantly. There's been early benchmarks of, well, not early, because tablets exist with the Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 already. And it is stronger than something like a GTX 1660 Super. Right, that is pretty heckin' good for something like a gaming handheld, right? And in a tablet form, knowing that it's integrated graphics, not the best. I mean, knowing that it could be compared to a desktop when it comes to price, not the best. But when you think about the fact that you're getting in a handheld form factor, very, very strong. The compute units on this, there's a lot. Yeah, I was right. It has 16. Oh, it's 16 Zen 5 cores, which means that it's 32 threads. So it's 16 and 32. With a 40 compute unit APU or GPU. See, it's already in the Asus ROG Flow Z13, and that's a pretty powerful device if you guys didn't know. It's saying that it's got double the GPU compute of Strix Point. And Strix Point's GPU compute would be the maxed out would be the Radeon 890M. So we can look at the 890M and just kind of double it. We can look for a graphics card that would have something considered double the compute unit. Hey, what up? Wow, Creeper forgot to hit first. What a dummy. That's 100% on him. What a doofus. He fucked up. All right, so if we go here and we go to the 890M. Fuck, I wish there was a lighter version of this page. So the 890M is pushing about 5.9 teraflops, and I believe that this is 11 teraflops, so that checks out, if I can find it. Here it is. It is pushing almost 12 teraflops, so that checks out. And if we look at it on a comparison chart, they don't have it on a comparison chart, unfortunately. I wish they did. Because the problem is not having it on a comparison chart really fucking sucks. Let me see. Yeah, there's no comparison chart for Tech Power, which sucks because they have the 780M on comparison charts, but they don't have this. And this has been out for a while now. The 890M is not particularly new. It's part of the Ryzen AI 9 HX370. It's kind of old at this point. It's about a year and a half old already, right? The release year would have been mid-2020, yeah, mid-2024. So it's a full year old. By the end of the year, it'll be a year and a half old. But we are expecting double the compute of an 890M. The 890M is only about 15 to 20% stronger than something like what's in the current generation of gaming handheld PCs that are using the Z1 Extreme and the 8840Us and 7840Us, the 780M, right? That is the most standard of standard handheld gaming PC processors. I have a Lenovo Legion Go, and that's what it uses. It uses the 780M. The 890M, once again, about 15% stronger. So now take that and double it, because that's what we are expecting to see with the Ryzen AI Max Plus 3 95. God, I fucking hate this name. This is supposed to have some interesting features. I wonder where they are. I don't know if I can find them here. No, nothing of the feature set, unfortunately. But we can see just by the body type that this is going to be... They did have a presentation where they looked at it. They showed it for like a split second. There it is. So maybe we can find them talking about it. Let's see. Maybe they'll put some stuff on screen about it. I don't see anything particular. I didn't check either. Just looking at the device itself, we know that we're going to have 2 trackpads. We know that we're going to have... I wish I could move this. We're going to have 2 trackpads. It's going to be a monumental leap forward when it comes to compute on the GPU end of things. We have normal standard controls all along the top. We've got the full Xbox layout with the inset stick and inset D-pad, which is good. And then all of the Ayaneo buttons that you're expecting. And a full... I can't tell like what size screen this is. I wish they'd give us more features on how big it's going to be. And maybe like weight and stuff. I believe he's moving on here. Oh, he's showing the inside. Oh, it's got a dual fan design as well. That's very interesting, right? So right now they've only showed the inside of the device with a dual fan design. Look at all those ports on it as well. Wow, what a device. It's got HDMI. It's got 3 USB-A's, a USB-C, and it looks like that's the power import. Holy shit, this thing is strong if it's using that kind of power import. That's DC, right? And then 2 Ethernets. That can't be it, right? Like this is maybe a mini PC that they built using the processor, and then they're going to move forward from here. But just looking at how big this is and having a dual fan design, very good. Opens it up, shows the center GPU or the center CPU. That's really big. That is a big piece of kit there. And this would only be the center of the device. That seems relatively big, right? When you think about it. So with how big that is, this handheld is going to be massive. It's going to be along the lines of something like a Lenovo Legion Go. But I don't particularly hate that, right? I think that that's probably a good thing. That's probably a good thing because it's going to be packed with a lot of power, and you don't want to bottleneck this APU or this GPU. Relatively big. Oh yeah, exactly. You get it. You don't want to constrain this GPU that has 40 compute units. That is a lot. If you guys don't know, I believe the 780M is like 12 compute units or something. Let me check. I believe the 780M is not very many. Hi, how are ya? That's my lady. Radeon 780M. I believe it's like it's either 12 or yeah, it's 12 compute units, right? Yep, 12. Lady Thuggish, she can go by whatever she wants. I won't tell her what to go by. But she does get a little more hood than me when it comes to, you know, fighting and shit. I don't be fighting. I almost saw her get in a fight already. So maybe we could call her Lady Thuggish. That's fine. Okay, so this has 12 compute units, and it's sitting around something like a GTX 1650, right? If we just take 200% of that, right? We're supposed to add 15% and then do 200%, right? Truly. So let's go at 780 Ti, and then 200% of that. So we are looking at something along the lines, in a mobile form factor, something along the lines of an RX 6600 XT. In a mobile form factor with significantly less power used, man. Now, like I said, with how big this thing is, I am not expecting them to not have to cram a giant battery in this thing. There's no other specs. It's just been teased, right? They said that performance on the device looks extremely powerful at 1080p, delivering high frame rates in GPU intensive games like Cyberpunk 2077 without requiring frame gen. Ayaneo has not yet released a release date, price for the Ayaneo Next 2. But we hope to see it launch before the end of the year. Now, here is one problem. I can show you guys something. You guys want to see something? This is the chip they're going to be using in a mobile form factor. Do you see that price up there? Sure, accept all, whatever. Look at that price up there. So if this 2-in-1, 3-in-1, whatever you want to call it, with a full size screen, a keyboard and mouse is about $2,000. What are we expecting something that's using the same chip going to cost in a handheld form factor? That is the one issue that may arise. I do think that specifically Ayaneo is known for very expensive devices. My first gaming handheld PC was almost an Ayaneo device. I almost bought an Ayaneo Kun. I almost bought this. It's huge. Oh, here it is. And if we look at the price, it's fucking expensive. Oh, I wish I could show you guys the price. I don't know why it's not showing up. I guess it's because it's out of sale. It's out of stock. They don't sell it anymore. It was like expensive. It was very expensive, right? 8.4-inch screen, so the same as the Legion Go. 2 trackpads instead of 1. Non-detachable controller, kickstand on the back, and all the Ayaneo buttons and stuff. 75 watt-hour battery, 16x10. 1600p resolution, same as the Legion Go. So the Legion Go is this. This was significantly more expensive, harder to find because they no longer sell it in comparison to getting a Legion Go, brand new. If I wanted the one that was closest to a Legion Go, I would have been spending $1,000, as you guys see at the bottom of my screen there. But if I wanted the ball out, I would have been spending $1,400 fucking dollars on a gaming handheld PC. Ayaneo is not new to making you spend a lot of money on boutique handheld gaming PCs, and I think that that's probably a good thing because that means they know their target audience and they know their market. We don't expect this thing to be extremely cheap. This thing is going to be expensive for the feature set and for the chip. Right? Of course, it's going to have the touchscreen, probably going to be OLED, the double track pads, back buttons, maybe even some sort of a paddle here. I see it down here at the bottom, right there. And then the full suite of controls with a top-of-the-line GPU for now. I don't know how long that thing is going to be top of the line, but it is currently. This makes me excited. I already have a mid-range gaming handheld PC. I have the Legion Go. I'm not looking for something weaker than that for myself, right? I don't need anything weaker than a Legion Go, and I don't need anything around the same performance tier as the Legion Go. If I'm going to go all in on a gaming handheld PC, the next thing that I would do would be the most expensive thing on the market, the highest end, the most powerful, the most innovative or unique or feature rich. I do think that there's a world where maybe they should have waited to make the Ayaneo 3 until this chip could have been fit inside of it so that you would have the modular controls, but I digress. Right? Because that is also a very feature-rich handheld because of the modularity of the controls, but it's stuck on an older platform, right? You're stuck with the 880M or the 880M or the 890M on that, instead of being able to get this 8060S or the 8050S if they do a weaker variant of this, which could happen. I could see it if they can't get a hold of his, they can't source all the chips, or if they know they need a slightly more budget option that's going to cost about $200-300 less, then maybe they would use the next step down on the Ryzen AI stack that's going to give you the 8060S instead of the 8050S instead of the 8060S. This is a prototype, like I said, so I hope that one of the big things that I hope they do is modular controls. Maybe I don't know how they would do a rail system and kind of copy the Legion Go, but it'd be nice to see, because I mean, this thing is powerful enough to just be a mini gaming laptop or a mini gaming tablet, right? So not having to, that's my favorite thing about the Legion Go, is not having to have the controller on, not having to have the controller strapped on, and just being able to use it as a tablet if I want to play something that is touchscreen but requires a decent amount of power, or I just want a high fidelity gaming experience while using it as a tablet. Most gaming handhelds don't do that. That's like the Nintendo Switch and the Legion Go and Legion Go 2's wheelhouse. The Legion Go 2 is going to be coming out, probably going to be cheaper than this 100%. Only going to have the one trackpad, is going to have the modular control. So when you're looking at the next generation of gaming handheld PCs, if you already have a gaming handheld PC, these are the kinds of things you're going to be looking at, right? Unless you're waiting for the Steam Deck 2, you're looking at these because they are higher end and generally more feature rich than what you have. And I'm hoping that it's going to be really cool. We know that GPD is also going to be putting out their own version of a Ryzen 9 AI Max Plus 395 APU handheld. The GPD Win 5, I believe. So there is very cool gaming handheld PCs on the horizon. This one is going to be a lot smaller, if you guys don't know. It's basically shaped like a PSP if you guys have never seen one. Here's the Win 4 for reference. It's shaped like a PSP with a slide-up screen in. So it's probably going to be smaller, not going to have as efficient of a battery, still has the dual trackpads as you see, and a smaller form factor, and has a slide-up keyboard. So it has a little more modularity when you think about the size because it's smaller and it has a full size QWERTY keyboard on the inside of it, but device heat and screen size. There's no way this is a 6-inch screen. What up? How you doing, Zach? This having a 6-inch screen on it is really cool when you have working eyes and you're not fucking ancient or blind. But if you're ancient or blind, you probably want something bigger. What attracted me to the Legion Go very specifically was its large screen, modular nature, and detachable controllers. I would love a device like this as like a secondary gaming handheld PC. But for the price, I could not justify it because it's so much more than my Legion Go, as you see here, right? 32 gigs of RAM with a Ryzen 7 8840U, which is pretty similar to a what's what I'm looking for here, a Z1 Extreme, because it's gonna have the 780M in it. And so the only real difference you gain here is you gain more RAM and then a smaller form factor. That's it. And then the full QWERTY keyboard, like I said. But these things are less worth it inherently than I think something like an Ayaneo device will be, because Ayaneo always makes their devices very modular and very innovative. I think that they're the leader, they're the pioneer in being innovative when it comes to the space. But like I said, look at this price point. This is the same chipset that this gaming handheld is going to have, that both of these gaming handhelds will have, the GPD Win 5 and the Ayaneo Next 2, in a tablet 3-in-1 laptop form. I bet you anything, we're going to be looking at another couple $100 on top of this. We're going to be looking at $2,200, $2,300, unless the chips have already started to become cheaper to sell or manufacture for the distributor, right? For the OEM trying to make something with it. I'm expecting to see higher prices than something like a laptop, because laptops in equivalence to something like a gaming handheld will always be more expensive. If you had a gaming handheld that was the same strength as a laptop, the laptop will be cheaper than the gaming handheld, of course. I yapped a little bit longer than I expected, but as you guys know, I'm a big time yapper. I do like talking about fighting games, PC tech, generally gaming handheld PCs, tons of things, but those specifically, and I can yap forever. So if you like that I yapped for a long time and you actually stuck around for it, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers eventually, so I can make that mucho dinero on YouTube. Yes, I am back to not so regularly uploading YouTube videos. I'm gonna try my damnedest. All right, sometimes I just don't have anything cool to talk about unless I'm already gaming and streaming, in which case a lot of that I can't use. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, signing out and saying peace.